If you've just entered into the world of APS-C cameras and you're a bit of a beginner, there's a lens out there that I think is literally like a bit of a cheat code. I feel like you can point this thing at literally anything from people to little people, products, racing cars, proms, dogs, literally anything, and it's gonna look good. The lens I'm talking about is the Sigma 56mm f1.4, and I'm using it on the Sony A6700. But it's also available for Canon and Fuji users. The main point I want to get across in this video is that you're going to be able to take photos that you, your family, friends, civilians, general non-camera geek people are going to look at and go, oh, that looks good. They might not know why, but they're going to think it looks good. The main reason being that because this is a slightly more telescopic lens and it's got a wide aperture of f1.4, it means we're going to get lots of that lovely shallow depth of field. Which I know some people will argue that that's becoming a little bit cliche to shoot everything at wide apertures, but there's no denying it does look good. Don't be fooled though, you're not instantly going to actually become a pro photographer. There's still a plethora of other skills that you're going to need to learn, i.e. the exposure triangle, lighting, composition. But if you're just starting out, for the time being, just set the camera to aperture priority mode, set it at f1.4 and just go out there and start snapping away. And I can almost guarantee you that you're going to be really happy with the results. Whether your aim is to just take better family photographs, better images on holiday, days out, or whether you want to step it up a little bit and set up your own little home studio like what I've done in the garage, you'll be amazed at the professional results you can get with really cheap gear. You know, just getting even one little cheap speed light will enable you to get some really lovely portraits on a very limited setup. Talking of making things look more professional, I feel like this lens also opened the door for me to some more sort of semi-professional paid work. Now, I don't consider myself like a full-time professional photographer because I'm not, but I've still got some paid work off the back of this little camera system, and I've used this particular lens for product shots and social media shots for an alloy wheel company, headshots and general other shots for a local barber shop, product shots for some garden clippers that we were doing some branding work for, headshots and group shots for a financial company, editorial shots for a up-and-coming music producer, and some other general shots for another local digital company. I've never quite had the balls for shooting weddings, but it would also be the lens I'd be taking along on wedding shoots. I think it proved itself pretty well with these shots that I got of Tia and her partner for their prom. Oh, and by the way, quick shameless plug here. If you like these edits, please feel free to go through and purchase my presets. It's a great way of supporting the channel and helping me make more content like this. Alternatively, please do just think about giving the video a like, a subscribe, comment, anything like that. It really does help out small channels like me. But getting back to the lens, we've bigged it up quite a lot now, but it wouldn't be fair if we didn't just talk about some of the downsides with it as well. As with all camera gear, there's generally a few limitations and compromises that you're going to be making with almost anything that you buy. And something to point out with this lens is that although it may say it's a 56mm lens, because we're using it on a crop sensor camera, it's actually going to behave more like an 85mm lens. So, you know, it's not got a very wide field of view. It's not going to be great at getting group shots if you're in a small space. So that's just something to bear in mind. It's not a do-it-all lens by any means, but what it does do well, it does really well, i.e. taking fantastic looking portraits. It does also suffer with this kind of quite harsh flare in certain lighting conditions. So I would definitely recommend using the lens hood that comes with the lens. I usually forget to put it on, but I would definitely still recommend putting it on. But that's the only things I think I could mention really. Other than that, it really is such a great little lens. It was released back in 2018, so, you know, it's getting on for 6 or 7 years old now, but it doesn't really make any difference. I always think it's quite funny when you get YouTubers that say, like, you know, is this lens still worth buying in 2025? Well, you know, it was good back in 2018 and it's still going to be good in 2030. Time literally doesn't make any difference to it. It's still just an optically really good lens. So yeah, I hope this video has helped. I didn't really want it to be like a typical lens review as such. I just wanted it to be more like a genuine acknowledgement of how good this lens is from someone that bought it with their own money 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, and I've been using it ever since, been really happy with the results. And I think it's going to really help some of you guys out there to produce images that you're going to be really happy with. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Appreciate it if you've made it to this far in the video. I've also got loads of other videos on my channel, like lens comparisons, looking at all other types of lenses for this camera system, which I think hopefully you'll all find quite useful. So please do think about going and checking them out. And I will see you again in the next one. Cheers.